Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for coming and checking out my videos. My name is Nate, and our company is custom made by us. We custom make stuff. Variety of different things: 3D printing, laser engraving, CNC carving, DTF printing, and sublimation. So today's video is going to be very quick. It's literally just how I shut down my printer at the end of the day. So the company that I got the printer from, they had given me a process and advised me to shut down a certain way, and I've just never done it that way. I do it my way. So, and I'll tell you why. And maybe I'm wrong, and you can correct me if you have information. So, but let's get into it. So at the end of the day, my printer, I'll move over the assembly by pressing the left arrow key. It reveals the capping stations here. A bit of debris there. That's why you got to do your maintenance on this. So I'm going to put this camera here so we can see it. Let's see, can you see it? Yep. Okay. So I buy these little foam tipped devices from Amazon. My printer, the company that sold me the printers, provided this cleaning solution that I've actually been using for 6-7 months now. So that's how long it lasts. So the first step is get this, dip your little foam tip into that cleaning solution. And then what I'm going to do is I take it and I just take it around the edge of the capping station. You can see there's a lot of little stringies and debris that get picked up by doing this. And I think that just helps prevent this from getting onto the bottom of your print head. You definitely don't want that. So as I clean this up, there's a squeegee right here that the heads run against. So I'll take this little foam tip and wipe it on that squeegee. Get any dried ink off of that. So again, this is done at the end of every day. This is my maintenance. So then I'll take my paper towel, my shop towel, wipe down that squeegee, and then I take it and I wipe down that capping station that I used the cleaning solution on. So it looks better. So when I do that on both capping stations, there's one for your white and then there's another one for your CMYK. This is only a 2-head printer, so if you have 4 heads, you're going to have 2 whites and 2 CMYKs. So you just do this process on all of the heads that you have. So again, I'm just going to clean this up. You can see it's picking up ink. I'll kind of squeeze it off in my shop rag or my shop towel. And then again, I use this on that squeegee. It gets off that excess ink that's on the squeegee there. Give that a good wipe. And then again, the same thing, I'll just take my paper towel and dry off the cleaning solution that I put on the cap station. So that's the cleaning solution. So I order wet capping solution from DTF Superstore. So there's a little bottle of it, and I don't use the bottle. I normally load it up into a syringe with a little plastic tube on the end, which makes it easier excuse me, to fill the capping stations up. So at this point, with the capping stations now cleaned up, I take my wet cap solution and I will use the syringe and put in, I normally put in, I don't fill it to the top. So I kind of just get it, maybe a half full in the cap station. And then you do that on both CMYK and your white. So you got solution, excuse me, wet cap solution sitting in your capping stations. So the company that we got the printer from, they said, go ahead and move your print head back all the way right. So it's over this. And then they said, put your print EXP software into wet mode. So if I say, I'm clicking on my laptop, wet, it says, do you want to keep wet? I say, okay, you'll see what happens. Right there, it just pumped out all my cleaning solution, or my wet cap solution. And it brought the capping stations up, and they're currently mated with my print heads, but there's literally, if I turn off wet mode, I'll show you. Turn off wet mode. When I move this over, so you can see the capping stations, they are now dry again. So when you tell it to go wet mode, it literally drained out that capping station fluid that I put in there to soak the head in, and then it mates the capping station with the print head, which to me, that doesn't seem what you want it to do at the end of the day. So my process is different, where I use the wet mode throughout the day. So like if I'm printing stuff and maybe it's not a busy day and I don't have stuff to print, but I'm gonna let the printer run all day, I'll use the wet mode. I'll click wet mode. You wanna put it into wet mode? Yes, and I'll do that and I'll take it out. If I get a print job, and then I'll do a clean nozzle check before I print again. But the only time I use wet is if it's during production and I don't have anything going on. End of day, I do not use that wet mode, because again, you see what it does. I want my print heads to sit in that solution, to help dissolve any ink that's starting to build up on the head. So I'll show you my process for that. Put this back over here so you can see. So I'm going to fill these back up with wet cap solution. Well, it's a little bit high, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. So what I do now is I just press right. So it moves the carriage all the way over to the right. And then I press the enter key on my keypad. It brings up the capping station to the print heads. So like right now, if I went back to the left, you can see my solution's still there. It's that head's sitting in it. So I'm gonna go back right. I press enter. Capping station comes up with a solution to mate with the print head. And then right here, I literally turn off my printer. And I've been doing this now for seven or 8 months. And every morning that I come out here and I do a clean and a nozzle check, my nozzle checks are perfect. I've never, knock on wood, I've never had a head clog. One thing to mention though, I did have a head strike that caused some issues with my print heads. So this is another product I use. I get this from the same company, DTF Superstore. It's called Red. It's concentrated, powerful cleaning solution for DTG and DTF printing. So it says to dilute it. It says use it 2-to-1. So you normally mix 2-to-1 with distilled water. So I believe it's, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's 2 parts of this to 1 part distilled water. But what I've done recently is I just run it full strength. and it hasn't caused any issues. And I'll just run that maybe on a Friday end of week to, you know, get a really good clean on those print heads. So, but that's how I shut this down at the end of the day. Again, I'll come in the morning, power up my printer, run 2 strong cleans, do a nozzle check. Nozzle check's always perfect. My test page to check for offsets, alignments, make sure colors look good, make sure I don't have any banding going on. You know, so that's my process. So if you're doing it differently, let me know. Now, if you have the same printer set up and you've got a different process that you're doing it, that you feel is more effective than the way that I've just demonstrated it as to how I do it, let me know. But again, the way that I was told is they said leave the printer on all the time, 24 hours a day. You know, at the end of the day, put it in wet mode. And I was like, okay, when I put my solution in those capping stations and I press wet, first thing it does is it pumps that solution right down into your waste tank. And then it mates the capping stations with your print heads, and there's no solution in there. So what's the point? You know, so that didn't make any sense to me. So hopefully this video was helpful to you. So I'm actually doing the video today for So-So. So, this video is for you, buddy. Hopefully, based on what I'm putting together here, you can kind of see the way that I've been doing it for the last 7 or 8 months. If your process has been different than what I'm doing here today, maybe try changing it up. You know, order these things from DTF Superstore. Go through this process the same way and see what happens. My recommendation for you right now is if you're running strong cleans, load ink, and your nozzle checks still look bad, I would try to get some kind of cleaning solution in there and let it soak for a couple hours, and then do a couple of cleans and then see if it's going to open up those channels on the printhead. So I hope my video was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please comment down below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like, and click on the bell notification so you can be notified when I post new videos. And you know the drill. As always, I appreciate you. See you on the next one.